I'm so glad the question about the 1099 employee was asked. This is a question I get all the time. It's something that comes up inevitably, it seems like, with every new client I go to work with. And the term 1099 employee, I'm not sure where it came from. There is no such thing as a 1099 employee. There are two different types of workers. Let's call them all workers. Anyone who is working with you is one of two things. They're either an employee or an independent contractor. Employees are paid through a W-2. Independent contractors are paid by a 1099. The key thing here, though, is you as the employer don't decide whether or not a person is an employee or an independent contractor, whether they're W-2 or 1099. The worker does not decide if they are an employee or an independent contractor, whether or not they're a W-2 or a 1099. The Department of Labor actually determines, and the IRS, the various agencies, the Department of Labor actually created the outline of the determination of what classifies a worker as either an employee or an independent contractor. And that is applied throughout the government agencies. The big question, and there are quite a few questions that go into this. It's a kind of a long, complicated process. But there are two big overriding questions that need to be asked. The first one being, is the worker financially dependent upon your business? So do they work for other people? Really is kind of one of the questions. If you are the only person that they work for, you would have a hard time defending to any of the government agencies that that worker is not an employee. The other big one is, who controls their work? Do you as the company determine when and where they're going to do their work? Or do they determine? Do you say such and such needs to be done and they determine when, where, and how it's done? There are quite a few other factors that are taken into consideration as well, but those are the two really big ones, and those are the ones that move the majority of workers out of the independent contractor status or the 1099 status and into the employee status, meaning they have to be handled as an employee paid on a W-2. I actually do have a breakout of quite a few questions that help clarify whether or not a worker is an independent contractor or an employee, and I'm happy to provide that. Please visit our website and contact me for a request for that, and I can gladly send that out to you. Our website is integritybusinesspartnersllc.com, or you can just message directly through Facebook. I guess the big thing I want to leave with you is there is no such thing as a 1099 employee. You're talking about two completely different statuses, and when dealing with workers, if you are calling them an employee, the government agencies are going to recognize them as an employee. It's going to be, you're going to have a really hard sell telling them that they're not an employee legally if you've been calling them an employee all along. So 1099 employee does not exist. 1099 employee, using that phrase, thinking of it that way, is a recipe for trouble, because it may work right now and no one may catch you at the moment. But the second one of the government agencies does an audit on whether it be through payroll taxes or whether it be Department of Labor audit or any of the number of different things that could come into play. Once that comes up, it's going to mean a whole heap load of trouble. So just avoid that trouble. Make sure you're classifying these workers properly, whether they're an employee or an independent contractor. Again, if you have any questions, please message right through our Facebook page, or contact us through our website, integritybusinesspartnersllc.com. We'll be happy to help you figure out whether or not you have your workers classified properly. Hope you have a great day.